know you're a monster.
One day of my life, let's color it outside the lines. So bright, brighter than the rainbow. One night that we live tonight, let's ride till we're out of sight. So far, so they never fade down our halo. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go. One moon to inspire these lines, one love to ignite our hearts, one song we'll be singing out loud. Oh, there's no stairway to the sky, but I believe it as a child. We'll fly, fly so high, no they can't make us come down. Oh, let it go. Oh, let it go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 48.
48.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
That's 4 weeks, 1 month exactly away from being successful.
How excited are you guys? 1 year.
See, I don't feel like it's been a year because I feel like we started the show realistically like during the Halloween time
Yeah.
because that's when we switched over to here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like I've been here for a whole year.
Anyway. I know what you mean.
But welcome everybody to Those Two Nerds. We are pretty much chilling today. This is a weird week.
Yeah.
Week felt fast. I don't know about for others, but it felt fast for me. I kind of sat around, played a lot of Valorant because the ranked play just came out in that, and it's been a week for sure. And we found some unsettling news.
So intros, we forgot to do that. I'm Nictus. This is Vera Coach. Our link descriptions are in the bottom.
Yep.
We'll have those popped up on the screen in a little while. But you guys know that. You guys come and watch the show every week, so you know who he is.
Yeah. So, but welcome everybody. Seriously, you guys are awesome. But we actually got some unsettling news today from my co-host here / partner / lover.
What's going on, Panda?
No, we were you were scrolling around the YouTubes.
Yep.
And maybe I don't know what you were doing on there, but those two nerds somehow popped up into your head, and you decided to search them.
I think it's good sometimes to search and see where you're at, see where your videos are at.
Because YouTube's not one of those things we
don't do a lot on YouTube.
Nope.
We stream every week to it, but as far as we don't post a lot of videos to YouTube. We've talked about it, but it's kind of hard to break into YouTube. It's hard to break it anywhere.
YouTube's more difficult, I think, just because of the fact of you kind of need to know how to edit videos. It's not going to be a lot of live production,
and we suck at it.
And content's tough.
It is,
especially if you're trying to not just do let me show you my highlight clips of my stream. If you're trying to actually do content, you need some production value to that, and it's production value that we don't have the time to do right as of now. If you guys keep watching,
we're not good at it either.
No, we're terrible at
it. But yeah, so basically, without mentioning any names, and without being mean and or disrespectful, and or calling other people names, we found another channel that has a name very similar to ours with a lot more followers that has been around a lot less time, on YouTube.
Yeah,
and the first thing that happened is it pissed me off. It made me really angry.
I laughed.
But I don't even know that they're going to be keeping with their format. I guess they had some kind of
problem
for formalities, or they're thinking about even taking their show in a different direction. But again, I'm not mentioning their name. We're not downplaying them. The one guy's got almost 500,000 subscribers on one of his personal YouTube pages, so clearly he knows how to do some YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
And he's had some success in that. But we had the name first.
Yeah.
And we don't really want to change our name.
I don't have any intention.
And we don't know, but we kind of got the impression that it had caused some
turmoil,
some problems potentially with them.
Yes.
Whether it was our fault indirectly or not, we don't know. And if it was, I'm kind of sorry, not sorry.
No.
We're all for anybody doing a thing and getting on the internet and putting it out there and being creative, and that's cool. And I would never intentionally go along and try to stop anyone from doing that. But
I know when it came to our name, and I think that's just the big thing here is like you said, this guy has actually it's two guys.
Yeah, it's two guys, and they both have huge followings.
They both have huge followings on YouTube.
They make our little tiny 40 or 50 people that subscribe to us look minuscule.
Yeah, and like I said, no hatred towards them. I bet they run a perfectly fine show. Obviously they're doing something right if they've gotten to that point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what we noticed is they had a video out there. Like I said, we're not disclosing any names. We'll let you guys, if you guys want to do the investigation, go do the investigation.
And we're not bashing them. I'm sure that their content is good.
And
I haven't watched a lot of it, but it looked good. It looked like they covered similar topics.
But they're having a problem as of now where their content they can't monetize the channel due to the fact that
it's claims that they're uploading other people's stuff or something.
Uploading other people's content that's not original to them, and stuff like that. Like I said, we don't know personally if it's us causing the problems, other people's content causing problems. We just know that it could be because names are very similar, and YouTube titles are very, very close together. I mean, we're talking one word maybe difference,
Yeah.
and some of the custom.
It's definitely in the same kind of format.
Yeah. So
But I mean, their channel. It says that their channel was established in like 2012,
2012, but
and ours was not. But they didn't start really posting anything in it until
5 months ago.
Recently.
Like-
It wasn't even that long ago. Their first video was like 3 or 4 months ago.
well, that was episode 5. So I actually looked a little deeper. It is about 5 months. It says 5 months was the first video, and it's been weird because, like I said, I mean, we didn't make the name. I think it took us like 2 or 3 hours to even decide a name.
Yeah,
And-
we searched on YouTube for anybody else that had a name that was really, really close to ours, and we found one channel. I don't even think that channel is still around, by the way.
No.
I think they're gone. It was these other two. These two, it looked like they were young high school girls that looked like they might have been posting videos about singing and dancing and just. I'm sure they went to TikTok because that looked like the type of videos that they were trying to make, and that's cool. And we wish them the best. But
Okay.
we're 50 videos deep.
So
You know what I mean? Like 47, 48 videos deep now.
yeah, so tell me if I'm wrong, okay, on this one. When we started looking our name up, wasn't there these 3 little kids, all boys,
Mhm.
sitting on the couch talking?
Yeah.
You know that became a fucking meme?
Did it?
Like an actual meme? Like, I mean, I was sitting there and I was actually looking at it, and I can't remember the name of those 3,
I don't remember.
the 3 kids, because it's a meme. Like, people literally post, like, you know, oh, me and my homies sitting there talking about, like, yada, 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 and, like, it's their picture. It's
Word.
like their cover art or whatever.
Word.
It's just really funny. But we hope, like I said, I mean,
I hope that they get it figured out, and whatever they want to do, that's great, and we wish them the best. Because, like
Yeah.
I said, the one guy I know for a fact has like 475,000 subscribers. Like that's not like a small number. Because when I looked at it, I was like, well, maybe they're just a new channel, and they already had like 1,500 subscribers on this new channel, and I'm like, well, that's because he has almost 500,000 on the other one. He
Yeah.
probably was like, hey, come over and watch my thing, and that, like I said, that's cool. I wish anybody that wants to like do your own thing, and that's great, but we have not, as of yet, anyone come to us and said change your name or anything like that. We haven't had
No.
any kind of like issues or problems. Just
no strikes on us for naming. Or,
other than copyright stuff, but we already had that, and it was for music, and that's it.
yeah.
So
But I mean, it's like I said, it's a weird thing because I mean, let's be honest here, it's very hard to come up with like original ideas because
absolutely is.
just because the internet it moves so quick. I mean, 1 second, like you could have an idea in your head, your FBI agent listens to you and sends it to somebody else, and they take your idea.
the thing that made me upset was that the name of their show was identical to our show,
Oh, it's almost like
minus one word. It's one word different.
yeah, it's bad. It's like I said, you can look at all their titles and stuff.
I don't think that they went through and they're like, "Oh, that's a cool name. Let's steal it." I don't think it was anything like that at all.
No, I think it was just. I don't think they looked. I really
think they
don't. I
searched.
think, like I said, we have a pretty, I would say, common name. I would say it's unique, but it's also, I mean, it's a few common words.
Video format is weird. Like we use the number 2 on the titles of our videos, but our channel is the word 2. So we need to be more uniform. I might go back through and change all the video things. It only takes a second to do it.
Just keep them all the same. Just because then
So
they can't rip us.
that was kind of like the weird news for the day.
That was breaking news.
That just happened like minutes before we came on the air. And again, we're not mentioning their names. We don't mean any like disrespect.
Wish them best of luck.
And
Seriously.
honestly, we do. I mean, and anybody that's getting out there and doing their own thing. But yeah, if they would come to us and say change your name, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
Like I feel like
why do you need to change because of those jerks?
I don't think they're jerks. I really don't.
No, it wouldn't be us having to change because what will come down to it if anything would ever happen, if say this channel blew up, whatever, and they came to us and they said, you guys need to change your name or we're going to take action upon it. Well, all you would have to do is this.
They would have, for them to like do legal recourse, which I would really hope that it wouldn't come to that. They would, one, have to own the name,
Yes.
either through a trademark or copyright, one of the two. And because we like technically we don't own or have this copyrighted, but it's ours. It's our intellectual property.
Yep.
But
It
We
would
don't.
just come down to like, okay, who made, like, just because you have the name and it's not copyrighted, and like I said, it's vice versa. They would be like, okay, well, who started making content first on it? Because because you can say, well, it's a channel that's not being used. They just now started using it 5 months ago, and then you look at ours and it's almost a year. easily.
I mean,
I just don't think it was going to come to.
the sounds of it though, it almost kind of sounds like they're changing formats anyway.
Yeah,
This just seemed like they kind of it pushed them in that direction, but I guess I don't really want to sit and dwell on it because
No.
again, we don't want them to.
come at us and we don't.
We're not coming at them sideways or anything like that. Like we wish them the best, and it looks like they've had a lot of other success out there, and I
And-
hope that they get it all figured out. I think that there's plenty of room in the internet space for lots of podcasts, and
And we would hope that they would contact us like, hey, like, let's talk this out, something like that. At least, be formal with it. But at the same time,
it may not even be us. We may not even be the reason that they're having an
you're
issue,
going to take it.
but they definitely have a channel that is very similar to our name,
Yeah.
and it kind of made me mad at first, but
Yeah.
eh,
But, so
whatevs.
news stuff, speaking of just more internet stuff, I kind of want to briefly talk on this because this is one of the biggest talks. I mean, this was posted on ESPN.
Yeah, we got like two real big pieces of
Yeah.
like streaming news.
Yeah.
We're not gonna spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. So I'll kind of jump into it a little bit. So,
Lost my train of thought. I'm gonna let you talk.
okay,
Go
you're good.
ahead.
You're good. You're good. So the big thing is this was on ESPN and some other sources. So I don't know how much people keep up with Twitter on here. I know a lot of people have it, but a guy named Slasher. He is a well-known insider / like when this dude says something's happening and he says why it happened, this shit happens. This guy gets all the inside information. This is pretty credible source. Comes out. So Dr. Disrespect. Many of you guys know him. One of the beloved people on Twitch, multi-million-dollar person.
This is a guy that you worshipped.
This
This is the guy that pretty much got you into wanting to do streaming.
This exactly, and this guy right here is I mean, so-called face of Twitch. I mean, that's what he goes under.
He's definitely one of the biggest.
He just signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Twitch. This is fairly recent.
And his shit was entertaining. Most of the time, his like I even caught myself watching highlight clips and stuff from his channel just because
He's funny.
he's funny.
He's-
He didn't always like the games he was playing, but he was.
He's funny. He plays a character. Basically, he plays the character of disrespects people. Like not in a way of like making you feel bad. It's just like he looks at himself as this like high class baller. Like I am who I am. I'm better than you. Like
Plus, like
it's the bowler. It's that bowler meme.
He
Like,
was pretty good at the
Yeah.
games he played too.
yeah. It's the bowler meme of like on ESPN when the bowler says, "Whoever you think you are, I am." Like that's him. This guy does not care. He plays off like this cocky attitude.
It kind of reminds me of the old like 1980s and early 90s personas
That's
when
the way
like
he-
wrestling.
Yeah.
Like when Hogan would come out and basically be like, "Greatest of all time, you guys also." That was him. Like that. That
Yeah.
was his persona. I mean, he had the crazy ass fake mustache and the mullet wig and the sunglasses. And
This
I mean, as his channel grew, his
his production.
his production value went up, and like I said, super entertaining.
When he enters in, I mean, he's got like all these green screen setups, like of him like in a locker room. Like,
It's commercial.
he calls it the arena. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like the
When he-
dude is huge.
When he comes in to his channel, like his intro, he sits there and like talks shit or like talks about news and stuff. Like when he's driving in, he got the flip phone, and like it's super funny. It's really
really
entertaining.
fun.
But he was randomly permanently banned
Okay,
out of nowhere.
they say it was random. It's not. Twitch doesn't do anything random.
I know.
Twitch just doesn't wake up and go, "Yeah, you're banned."
So
They have reason, but we don't know what.
Slasher came out and said, right now he actually knows the reason, but it is a sensitive topic that he does not feel comfortable disclosing out to people until an official statement has came out from Twitch, which is totally okay. And he actually posted something of Dr. Disrespect's last stream before he came out. And you can see at a point where he ends his stream, like it's like an 8-minute clip. He about the 158 mark on the clip. You can see Dr. Disrespect kind of looks at his phone and his whole mood changes. Like everything changes about him. He goes kind of more passive. And at the end of his stream, when he's closing off, he says like, the Champions Club, we're going to get through this, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden his stream cuts off.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was weird.
like I said, this dude, total mood change. So like I said, people have been speculating, with Twitch right now, there's a lot of people coming out, women streamers and stuff like that about sexual assault allegations. Twitch is taking this very seriously. This is not something that I'm not even going to joke about or anything like on here. I know we keep it fun, but at the same time, like Twitch is taking serious steps with sexual allegations because a lot of people have came forward.
Yeah, it's been basically like,
The
okay,
last-
do you remember the Me Too movement when that happened in Hollywood, and all of a sudden these people were like,
Yeah,
this guy's fired, this guy's fired,
Yeah.
this executive's fired, this person is now on permanent leave,
yeah,
and it was like you're like, oh really? Gosh, I'm Kevin Spacey and all these other people. Like that's what's kind of happening on Twitch right now, and it's not just them. I'm telling you what, like
It's everybody.
It's sweeping through the gaming community right now, and I think it's a good thing. Noah Bradley, the artist, he has done tons of illustrations for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast made a public statement that we are severing ties with the artist Noah Bradley because
Yeah.
of these
allegations.
reasons.
Yes, yeah.
And I mean, like that's serious. But Rebecca Way, I think is her name. They got rid of her not for sexual allegations, but because she subscribes to all these like very very right wing conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Like she's a flat earther and things like that, and they don't really want that kind of flack. Plus, she's I guess, and I feel that this is wrong. She's like a huge Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I mean, among other things.
Yeah.
But I think one of the other groups that she was following was like either directly or indirectly a white supremacy group,
Yeah.
and like that's a big no-no. Like
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, people have their opinions of like you shouldn't be able to ban people due to their political views or something like that, which I agree with. You're allowed to have your own right to thinking, but at the same time, there is a certain extent to where that cuts off. Like obviously, white supremacist groups, stuff like that, racist groups,
yeah,
or anything
racist
like that.
groups suck.
Yeah,
And if you're in a racist group,
Yeah.
fuck you.
yeah, and like I said, I mean, if you support that, okay, you're allowed to support that. Go for it, whatever. But at the same time, I can completely understand, and I back anybody that says we're not going to support you for supporting that.
No,
But at the same time, so with the whole thing with Doc and stuff like that, with the sexual allegations,
we really don't know. I mean,
nobody knows.
we have no idea.
Reddit has came out. Somebody that says, "Oh, I'm high up on Reddit," said it was sexual misconduct. Said it was XYZ. That Twitch will release a statement on June 1st. Nobody knows. I mean, Doctor Disrespect was way more comforting because people thought this man got arrested.
Yeah,
That his house was raided, and he was getting arrested.
yeah.
Even somebody from I think Activision or something like that. Because yes, Doctor Disrespect used to work for Activision. Came out and said he was arrested. Nobody knows. Like I said, do not read everything you see online. Is the light flickering? Or...
Yeah, it was
Oh, you're changing it.
my bad. Sorry,
I
guys.
was gonna say, I'm like,
It's like
is
we
it just
got
me?
lightning happening in the house. No, it's
but like I said, we don't know what's happening, and I briefly wanted to talk about this just because this guy is the face of Twitch, and I'm not saying what happened was random, but he even came out. Dr. Disrespect tweeted yesterday, says, I don't know the full extent of what is going on. Twitch is kind of giving me piece by piece. I'm trying to figure this out. That's all we can do. And that's kind of where we're at with the whole thing. It's a weird time right now. Like I said, the world is at a very sensitive point. I would say it's a lot of things are coming out. Between racism, sexual assault allegations, anything. Nothing is getting played off lightly right now. The full punishment is coming,
and it should.
and it should. Like I said, people shouldn't be able to walk for free. I don't know really how I feel about the whole. I want to see because I support Dr. Disrespect. I love this dude to death. Like this dude is awesome. This dude has brought many smiles. He brings content. He brings funniness. But obviously, I'm waiting for this statement, seeing what happened.
We don't know what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what happened, and it may not even be anything quite that severe. It
Yeah.
could be something from a completely different legal standpoint. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he signed with a company or something that we don't know about, or
Tax fraud and
I mean, it could be anything.
yeah. So we're just gonna wait. Like I said, I'm not gonna say I sit here and support Doc, but as of now, until I get a statement, I reach out to Doc and just tell him like, hey, keep your head up.
No, he still got my support, and
That's what I'm saying.
Until something comes out that
Yeah.
would lead me to believe that he did something really crappy, then
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And like I said, I mean, you're gonna be seeing this probably for the next month or so easily.
it's hard to say.
People are making these statements that have came out because I know Zombie Unicorn made allegations about Syndicate and stuff like that, which like I said, another popular streamer. This dude averages 40,000 plus viewers. This dude's awesome. A lot of high respect for this guy, but he's made his wrongdoings, and now people are coming out about it, which like I said, I fully support it. If you have a case and you're being honest about it, go ahead. But if you're lying about it, that's wrong. So
Let's see what else was going on in the streaming Mixer. I know we touched on this briefly
Yes.
last week. Mixer is dead, y'all. So if you were hoping to get your start in the Mixer community,
Go to Facebook. You're going to Facebook.
You're going to Facebook Gaming,
and a lot of people are very
where I've been at for a while. Hello.
Yeah, a lot of people are sad about this just because people made a community. People felt like, oh, this was my home. A lot of shady stuff was happening in the higher ups.
Yep.
And instead of Microsoft saying, oh, this fire this, fire this person, fire that person, they were like, no, we're just going to axe the whole thing in half. Or we're just going to axe it, go sell it off.
Yeah.
Which also led to people like Ninja and Shroud, one of the two most known people on Mixer, also known for Twitch, YouTube, whatever, anything that you see, they touch, it's literally gold. They made Mixer / Microsoft buy out their contracts. 30 million to Ninja, 10 million to Shroud for less than a year of work. Bought out. And now they are considered free agents.
It is a contract.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're considered technical free agents. I know you don't like the word free agent for them, but
I don't like that they treat them like they are
celebrities, athletes.
They're not really. No offense to them. They definitely are online personalities, but they're not celebrities in the general sense of it.
I would say they're gaming celebrities.
There's a lot of people that would look at their picture, and I'd say the majority of people, and they would not know who they are.
Ninja?
Yeah.
I would say, what? No, I don't know. I think if you would say Shroud, yes.
If you put up a picture of Justin Bieber and you put up a picture of Ninja next to each other, more people are going to know who Bieber is than Ninja.
I agree, but I would say that you'd be shocked. I would say over 75% of the world knows who Ninja is.
75%?
Yes.
I think that's a very high estimate.
Because
I'd say probably closer to 25%.
Because every kid knows him. Every little kid in the world knows who Ninja is. If I
saw him on the street, I wouldn't know who he was.
I don't know. He's pretty hard to miss. He got that blue hair.
Yeah, well,
He's really hard to miss.
I'm not slamming the guy. The guy has he's made a career out of doing this, and that's great. I hate the term free agent because whatever. So basically, the company that you agreed to work with went out of business. Now you're a free agent. No, you're the company that you're with couldn't afford to pay you anymore, and that's pretty much what it was.
There's a lot of racism and sexual.
So welcome to Facebook.
Well, yeah, he's not going to Facebook. As of now, he basically refused because Facebook, all the sources came out. Facebook was willing to pay him double.
He's got how much money now?
30. He got 30 mil.
Why does he even want to do this anymore?
So Facebook, because why not keep going?
How much money is too much?
How much money is too much? I don't know. I mean, you could set up your next 5 generations right now.
I guess.
But
dude's already got more money than he can spend.
Like I said, Facebook right now, Facebook came out and said we will pay you double.
He said no. Which is dumb.
He said no.
But that was political.
Yeah. But what was it? So right now, there's speculation that, and a lot of people have said this, Ninja's probably going to go to YouTube, sign with YouTube. Shroud's going to come back to Twitch. That's because obviously Shroud's not as worth as much as Ninja. As crappy as that sounds, because they're both well-respected people. It's just Ninja does more. Ninja has Adidas. Ninja has this, and that. Who's going to sell you more? Probably Ninja, because he's just been around. And don't get me wrong, Shroud has his respect. This dude's ex-pro CSGO player, insane aim, known for his flick shots, everything that you can think of under the sun. It's just Ninja's been more he's been on Jimmy Fallon. He's been on all these popular shows. He's just well-known. So I don't know what's going to happen. That's probably the big news, I would say, streaming-wise, that Mixer shut down. And
yeah, Mixer is dead.
And everybody's making the meme of Shroud and Ninja chased the bag and finessed 40 mil.
Let's see. I like your teddy bears in the background, Nick. There's only one bear back there. That's Ted. He is a sometimes co-host of the show.
Yeah, when I can't make it.
He's actually done one episode with me. But he is here every week. Sometimes he's behind the camera, sometimes he's in front of the camera. And that's Yoda sitting next to him.
Yeah, if you can't see it. But so another thing with streaming, I know this is like a streaming podcast, if you want to call it that. Podcast, video cast, whatever. Elgato released a video this week of the new awesome getting compared to beating out a Go XLR mixer and I don't even know the studio grade microphones.
They're coming out with really good microphones.
Yeah. So $153 price tag called the Wave 3. This will come with a mixer that's similar to the Go XLR. And they're saying this microphone will beat the Go XLR at that price tag any day of the week. Save your $700-800 microphone setup with a mixer.
We both use Yeti.
Yes.
and we love our microphone a lot.
Yes.
I mean, it has really good, crisp, clear sound to it, and I mean, it's what we use every week. He
Yeah.
uses it for his stream. I use one for my stream.
Yeah.
I use this one a lot of times for voice chatting and for miscellaneous things, but for just the voice quality, I use the Yeti. We love it. So, I mean, I think coming out with another microphone, and it's going to work with all the Elgato stuff,
Yeah.
all the Elgato
Stream decks.
stream decks and the lights and
Yeah.
whatever else. Speaking of, we're going to be upgrading our lights here pretty soon, I think.
We got a lot of upgrades coming out.
We got a lot of upgrades and stuff to the studio because we're going to be moving.
Yeah.
I guess that's the other really big piece of news. But back to the microphones. I think that it's good. I think that it gives people an option. I would say it's more like a mid-range microphone, but a lot of times you just need something that's going to have a good sound, and not everybody has $700 or $800
Yeah.
to spend on a studio mic.
Well,
$100 is a lot for some people to spend.
don't get me wrong. I think because like I said, NVIDIA came out with the RTX voice thing, which works wonders. I've been using it.
We're using it now.
We're using it right
it's
now,
actually
yes.
We're actually using it right now.
It has the noise cancellation. It's it's not as in depth as a mixer, but it does a very good job. And like I said, I use it because I live in a garage. I
Yeah.
stream from a garage that does not have AC in it, so I have a portable air conditioner. And if I put it this way, if I turned off the NVIDIA voice, you guys would not want to watch my stream because all you hear is it would sound like a fan just blowing in my mic the whole time.
The other thing that it really does is here we're going to demonstrate for you, but the microphone that we have is about 4 or 5 inches above the table.
Yeah.
And this is a plastic table. So we're going to be real quiet for a second, and then I'm going to start tapping on the table, where normally this would be like loud as crap and you'd hear it a lot. But here we go. Ready? Now I was tapping actually pretty hard. That would have made that before kind of just bounce up. All you
Yeah.
would have heard was noises. This is the other thing that's really freaky about it, right? Okay, so that's why this software won't necessarily work for every application, but when you're just trying to get your voice through, it's great. But check this out. You guys are going to be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So I'm going to clap, but you're going to see my hands move. You're going to hear like a little bit of a thing, but it's not going to register as a full clap. So are you ready? Here we go. It doesn't register as that full clap. It's freaking weird. It's like it mutes it partly.
Yeah, it's all about sensitivity, and like I said, this is one of the best things I would say out there for free software. So
Yeah, I mean it's free. If you got an RTX card, you got
Yeah.
you got.
well,
it's free.
technically you don't need the RTX
Yeah,
card.
but it really works well with it.
Yeah, so if you guys are ever trying to wonder how to switch it out from an RTX to because the RTX, what we're meaning by is 2060, 1660s, 2070, 2080 graphics cards. This works with the graphics card. If you don't have anything like that, let me know. I actually can tell you exactly how to change it to where it doesn't require it, and it will install for you, and you can set it up. Because I use a 1070 Ti, and I use the RTX voice, which is hacker manned it and got it into work, and it works wonders.
It used to be when you'd hear us sitting down our phones on the table. If he was taking a drink, or if I was taking a drink, or if I banged the table underneath,
It pick up so bad.
it picked up everything. But I mean, you kind of want that, and it doesn't matter where you put the gain level or the input level on the microphone. The way that we have ours is that it tries to pick it from the front only, but it's still going to pick up stuff from the back side of it and stuff too. So I would recommend that. But I mean, $153 price point for a
Yep.
decent mic. I would say that if you don't already have a pretty decent mic and you are trying to do one that's more geared towards podcasting and talking, I'd say it's probably at least a good thing to look at.
Yep.
But I also can't recommend enough the Yeti.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a couple other microphones that are pretty good that are a little bit less money.
Yeah.
I don't use those, so I can't tell you if they're good or not. But the Yeti mic overall is pretty good.
A lot of people will tell you for the $100 price tag with the Yeti, and if you pair it with the RTX voice, it's great. And like he's saying, if you're looking to do podcast or looking to have more crisp audio, drop the extra $50, $50-$60 obviously with tax, depending on where you live. Pick up this new Wave 3. This, like I said, you can buy 2 of these for the cost of a Go XLR mix amp.
Yep.
And my
That
opinion,
was the other thing you were stating too, is that it had Mixamp software
Elgato
built into it.
Elgato is making something that's very similar to RTX voice, where it works through, right on your computer. You don't have to have a big box on your thing, plug in a ton of cords, because a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about audio, and they can overcompensate. They can do all this stuff. This makes it easy. It is very user friendly.
We don't know a lot about audio.
No, I'm terrible at it.
Like we're still learning stuff about video quality and stuff
Yeah.
because we have these cameras that they're pretty decent. We see a lot of
One of
people
the
use them.
top rated
and
webcams.
we're like, why does our video look like crap?
Yep.
And I mean, we're still figuring out. Part of it is our lighting in here is effing terrible.
Yeah.
Like just hands up, it's bad.
Yeah.
So we realized that, but we have done. I mean, the video probably looks as good as it probably ever has.
We're still getting better.
But we're playing with it. You got to just experiment with stuff.
So, like I said,
I'm not ready to invest in $1,000 camera yet. You know
no,
what I mean?
I'm not either. But at the same time, sometimes if you have the extra income and stuff,
Sure.
go for it. If you want the best of the best, like I said, get a camera that you're not going to only be able to stream with, but also go outside, take some pictures. Like if you're into that kind of stuff, like that's kind of why I want the upgraded camera, is because one, I like doing the podcast. I like looking good. I don't look that good. Like I look like a solid 6 when I'm off camera, but maybe this camera will give me like an 8. What are you laughing about? You agreeing with that? I'm a 6?
I think that's funny.
Okay. Well, that's fair. But like I said, seriously, check out the Wave 3. This is a new piece of equipment. You're probably going to struggle to find it at local stores, so check Amazon, check everywhere, because this is going to be a hot seller. Trust me. When I say that, if you want to buy some stock in Elgato, it's probably a good time.
So let's see, other stuff going on. I have not had much time for any gaming this week. I feel like I knocked out 2 games a couple weeks ago on a weekend, and I felt really good about that. I'll be really honest. I have turned on my Switch to play Animal Crossing a couple of times. That's about it.
That is the Animal Crossing news. I almost forgot about it. Animal Crossing is coming out with a patch that will allow you to swim.
Yeah, it
in the
looks
water.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
They've got like ocean creatures, and there's a new character. He's an otter.
I just hope you can swim in the ponds because I'm so tired of carrying the damn pole.
No, I think it's only beach ocean. Well, it's one of 2 updates. So they got this new update coming out in July, they said, and then they said there's a second update coming out in August, but they didn't tell us what the second update is. Here's why I'm still a little bit irritated at Animal Crossing. So Red the Fox, he sells art, and I have not seen him show up to my island not one time. And this update came out back in like late April or early May. It is now almost July, and I still don't have the art gallery opened up on my island. Now, I haven't had as much time to play. I haven't been playing as much.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that my island is still a work in progress. It looks like it's under construction. That's because it is.
Yeah.
But the new update looks cool. I mean, they didn't show everything about it. Obviously, there's probably going to be some other things in there that we
For
don't
sure.
know. But they said that there was going to be some new sea creatures and things like that to add to your aquarium. And the otter, I think he trades certain shells and stuff for items. And they have not said anything about the update after that, the one in August. So
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, this is a big thing for Animal Crossing, and it's so cool that Animal Crossing has come out during a time like this. Like, if you would have gave us Animal Crossing that was from the GameCube at this time when they, updates are easy to push out, it's super simple. Like, imagine where that game would have continued to go. Like I said, there's like some 80-year-old grandma that played Animal Crossing like every day since it's been out.
the one on 3DS, New Leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the new one came out, she got it, but she said that she wasn't going to give up her other
I couldn't imagine what
her other village.
Couldn't imagine. Like, do you think there's a certain point where you win? Like,
Well-
you own everything?
So okay, here's the old Animal Crossing games. For the most part, you really couldn't customize your island as much as you can on this one. Like, basically, I think you could and again, I don't remember. It's been a while. At least I think in the original, I think the animals, they just kind of moved where they wanted to move.
Mhm.
I don't think you picked out plots of land for them. I don't think you could move them. Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe I just never messed with that feature. But I don't remember ever being able to, like, once you had a building or a structure in place, being able to move it.
Yeah.
And you definitely couldn't. Like, the landscaping was huge. This is a huge first for the series. You've never been able to, like, make rivers and make mountains and make pathways and
Make
like,
your island your island.
this is very, very different.
Yeah.
Right. So the amount of customization that you have is a lot. I don't remember there being this many options for fencing and
Oh,
yards
no.
and items. There's always been like hundreds and hundreds of items within the game that you can
But
get.
it was all like make your house look cooler. It wasn't so much of like
It wasn't really like the whole island.
no, it was you had you had your plot of land and that's it.
Yeah.
And once you get past that, like, oh, man, I hate this house being here. Man, I hate that the store's so far away. Let me move it closer to me. Like, there's so much customizations, and I know we're strong advocates for Animal Crossing. We love that thing.
I think it's probably one of the best games. So I mean, we're already coming up on we're in June. We're almost in July, so we're already over the halfway part of the year. Um, I feel like it's probably time to start talking about at least the stuff that's out. Are you looking forward to anything coming out this year as far as game wise? Because I have a couple of games coming out that I'm looking forward to.
I mean, besides from like Cyberpunk,
Oh, that game's gonna be so good.
Cyberpunk, the new WoW expansion.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to Cyberpunk, obviously. I really like the upgrade system that they're doing. We're gonna talk about that in a minute again. I want to reiterate that point a lot because I think that it's a point that a lot of media outlets they're covering, but they're not making it as big of a deal as I feel that it is. Ghost of Tsushima, the samurai game on PS4. That game looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks very cool. The second in the Dark Pictures anthology, I'm hoping that it's a little bit more interesting than Man of Medan was in like the first probably like 45 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
We were like, God, this is so boring.
Oh, yeah.
But the new one looks cool. It has a Blair Witch kind of feel to it, sorta. So looking forward to that. I'm actually still looking for a physical copy of the Blair Witch on the Switch. So, because like I collect Switch games, right? So in Japan, I don't know that anybody knows this, they get way more physical releases on not just Switch, but PS4 and Xbox.
Everything, yeah.
They get everything. So if you look on the eShop, they've got the original Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII remastered that you can buy on the eShop. Well, in America, that's the only way you can buy it. You can buy it digital. That's it. So I was online, I was looking, and I found an import of it was a 2-pack. It came with both games all on the same cartridge,
Mhm.
Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII remastered. I was like, why is that not in America? Like I feel that people would buy that, and it wasn't a $60 release. I think because I think the two games on the eShop together, if you would have bought them, they were maybe $30 or $35 total. I think the total retail price of the bundle thing was like $50 because it's a physical release. I get it. I didn't pay that for it. I got it on sale. So, but I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
I want to see more releases like that. But game of the year, what do you think? I mean, from everything that's been out so far, I know that things sort of
This is
halted.
This is gonna be a week.
What do you think the game like? What games do you think are at least in contention for game of the year this year so far?
So, I mean, I'm trying to remember when Overwatch came out. Did that get petitioned to be Game of the Year? Overwatch.
Yeah.
So I think right now.
I don't believe it won, but I believe it was in the running.
So I think some games that are in the running right now. I think Valorant's going to be up there because Valorant's
It's definitely going to get awarded
it's going to get awarded something. And like I said,
because Apex did.
because Apex, yep. But so Valorant, man, Game of the Year. That's what sucks because like there's so many games that didn't come out.
Yeah,
Right
a
now.
lot of stuff got pushed back for sure.
So you're not going to get the strong. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you.
I think that you're going to
Animal Crossing is going to be.
I think Animal Crossing, for one, they didn't have a lot of competition. For two, you don't sell that many copies of something and
no reason.
not be considered.
I think that's where you're going to be at. I think Animal Crossing, it's going to be. I think it will be Animal Crossing, and I think it just depends on when some of these new releases, some of these hyped up games. Because I'll put it this way: Last of Us is not going to get Game of the Year.
I think it could be a contender.
I don't think it will be.
I think that it will be mostly because the people that love it. The people that don't love it
Hate it.
hate it. And if
It may be a contender.
if that's not enough controversy to at least make it a consideration, then sometimes the game that was the most fun or the best overall story game and stuff doesn't win. Sometimes it's more of the technological advancements and what they accomplished. How sometimes it's sheer numbers, sometimes it's popularity.
Yeah.
Because the Video Game Awards, which I feel is the only awards ceremony that matters when you're talking about that. It doesn't matter if IGN has their thing or GameSpot has their thing.
Yeah.
Video Game Awards, it's called the Video Game Awards, and that's voted on by us, the people. It's not a critics thing. It's not a we can buy the vote or whatever. We vote on it. We pick
Yeah.
So if you don't like the winner, you didn't vote, or maybe your game just sucked. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
So
I think that it's already sold a ton of copies.
yeah.
And I honestly, from what I've seen of Ghost of Tsushima, that game could definitely be a contender.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know.
I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said,
It's gonna be a cool
With-
thing. But right now, it looks like no
It's-
lie. It's the only two games really worthy of it. I would say are Animal Crossing and The Last of Us, and I think the Animal Crossing would win
yeah,
hands
I
down.
think Valorant will get considered. But who knows? And to answer some questions here, so we got Outriders being an exciting game. I would agree with that. The other thing is with Flip the Table as well. I need to start playing Valorant. I will put it to you this way, because Valorant just came out with Rank this week. It's very similar to CS:GO, in that kind of style of rank system and stuff. What I love about Valorant is they require you to play 20 public matches, because public games take about 30 to 40 minutes. They're the same as playing a normal ranked game, it's just not ranked. That's the only difference to it. They're making you play 20 of those before you can even jump into ranked, which I think is awesome because it gives people a chance to learn the game, because there's only like 4 maps in the game right now. So if you're probably going to play, say, a few of the maps a few times, you'll get kind of like the angles and you'll just get better over time. Rank comes out in this game. This game is taking off. What's cool about it is they have an amateur scene, they have a pro scene, they have all these ways to qualify. Valorant's pretty awesome. If you like CS:GO and you like person shooters, and like Rainbow Six style where it's like search and destroy, check out this game. I am strongly opinionated on that because I think that's the only thing I've been streaming on the past like week, 2 weeks.
I've been really slacking. I honestly, I have a couple of ideas. I'm actually thinking about taking Nicholas Plays Games in not in a completely far radical direction, but I'm really kind of into my Switch. I love my Switch. I feel like I spend a lot of time playing my PS4 and my PC, but I feel like I own more stuff for the Switch.
I think you own cooler things for this.
I do. I love it. So I may end up taking my channel and gearing it more towards just Switch based content. And I'm thinking about picking up like weird random one of games because I've actually picked up a couple of like smaller, not well known horror franchises on there that I thought would look cool. I like the collector's editions and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. I may end up playing Magic more. I don't know, but because M21's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty insane. So let's see. Flip the Table comes in. No love for Fallen Order. I think Fallen Order's fine. I feel like
No, that's another
from
one
a
that-
technical standpoint, it's beautiful.
I think it's one of the better Star Wars games that came out.
It's definitely one of the better Star Wars games to come out.
I think there's just a lot of games. I think what's hard right now is just like we don't know how many games have been forced back.
Did that game technically come out this year?
I don't remember. Like I said, I struggle to remember when games come out. Like there's some games that have been out for 3 to 4 years, and I'm like, what are you talking about? That came out last year.
Was Fallen Order in last year's stuff, or was it not in contention? They were just gonna do it this year. Because I would say that if
Did it come out during December?
I feel like it came out like November or December last year.
It was after the Game Awards.
So if that's the case, then I would say that yeah, I feel like it could be a contender. Because I have enjoyed Fallen Order. I think it's an awesome
See,
game.
that's what I worry about with the Game Awards is that they're gonna some games won't make the cut because they'll come out after the Game Awards. So don't get me wrong, they'll be in the next one, but you got to think 2021 is, knock on wood here that it's better than 2020 has been and there's no delays. You're going to see games getting pumped out. Like it's going to be a year of games.
Well, then we've got like weird surprise releases that are coming out that we didn't even know were coming out.
Yeah.
And the Switch, it was okay. He says it was November. The new Paper Mario is
Yeah.
coming out in July. We hadn't heard anything about this game, and the 25th is the 20. It might be the 35th. 35th. It's either the 25th or the 35th anniversary of both Zelda and the Mario franchises have happened over the last like now. I think Zelda's is next year. I think Mario's was this year.
Yeah.
So, and I might have those numbers wrong, but there's rumors of a Zelda collection coming out with
Sweet.
like Ocarina of Time and the Majora's Mask. We don't know anything else about it. They might report the ones that were on the Wii U that have already been ported from the Wii and whatever. That's great. Gives me another reason to have to buy them. I'm a Zelda collector. I love Zelda. I've also heard that they're talking about doing a Mario collection with like Mario Galaxy and Mario Sunshine and Mario
Yeah.
64
I would
all
love to
in
play
a bundle.
Mario. Was it Mario 3D?
Mario 64. There's Mario 3D Land.
Which one was on the DS that like I loved? We used to jump inside the paintings.
That I think that was Mario. I think it was Mario. I think it was called Mario 64 DS or something like
Yeah,
that.
that was cool because that was the same one that was on the 64.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was just
Mario 64.
okay. Yeah,
Well, I mean, if that's the case,
Mario Sunshine was sweet.
it is. It's a great game. I have it on GameCube and I
Yeah,
paid a lot for it.
yeah. It's an awesome game. It's a definitely unique Mario
It's
game.
very cool. Galaxy's cool. I don't know if you ever played Galaxy,
Yeah,
but Galaxy was dope. The original, the first couple Paper Mario games were really good. A couple other ones after it weren't as good, but still fun.
yeah. Collector's items. Trust me,
Oh,
when it comes to Mario, Zelda, and like Sonic, those are like the staples to grab for any Nintendo game. People
so
love that stuff.
I went out last year and I bought a GameCube and I bought a bunch of older games. I tried to basically rebuild my old GameCube collection, which was easier than I thought it would be. When you actually have money to spend, I found that it's a lot easier. It was harder to actually track the items down than it was to cough up the money and just pay for it. That was the easy part. Is the tracking it down was hard. So I ended up buying a GameCube and an N64, and I figure between emulator software. Sorry if that's offensive to anybody. I'll be able to play as much of the Nintendo and Super Nintendo stuff as I want. Plus, I've already bought those games a lot, and until they bring them to like the Nintendo Switch Online, I'm sorry, I'm going to emulate them. But as
Yeah.
far as GameCube and stuff, I feel like those games are still readily available. They're not that hard to find. If you want to buy it, buy it.
I will never forget when you got SS Tricky, but you got SS Tricky 3.
Which was also good.
That was funny though.
But I was looking back. I didn't actually have SSX Tricky on the GameCube. I had it on the
Such a good,
PlayStation.
such a good game.
But I was already buying GameCube
NBA
stuff
Street
anyway.
was my game.
So I was telling a story earlier today about how I got on Facebook Marketplace and I was looking for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on GameCube, and I messaged the guy on Facebook who had one for sale. He was from the area. I met him by like a Krispy Kreme donuts and getting some donuts too, so that was awesome. And this was last year sometime. So the thing that was really cool about it was the guy was super nice about it, but I still paid. I want to say it was $40 or $50.
Yeah.
I think I ended up giving him a total of $60 cash, and I ended up getting a copy of Luigi's Mansion as well. He like cut me a deal just at both of them. And I was like, okay, I felt like I got the better deal in that one, but I wasn't going to argue with the guy.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking in that game, the Paper Mario game. It's worth over $100 now. Like, and it just keeps going up. So this is why I collect physical Nintendo stuff, and like games you wouldn't even think are worth anything, worth a lot.
Well, that's why Gary V he does like a whole yard sale. Like this dude's a millionaire. Like this dude passed up on like Uber and stuff and like all this stuff. Like this dude's a motivational speaker slash like all this stuff. And the cool thing about him is he goes to these yard sales and he does content off this. And he goes to yard sales, looks for old Zelda, Mario games, and he buys every one he finds,
Mhm.
no matter what condition, as long as it works, and he resells them. He says like this is the quickest way to make money. And
He's not wrong.
like buying old Nintendo games, if you find a Nintendo game with the actual box it came in, it doesn't even have to be sealed.
No.
It's still worth 50, 60 bucks.
Well, we've seen that now. Okay, so I want to say baseball cards was a big collectible item in the 70s and 80s. Then for other nerds, we moved on to comic books in the 90s. So you had these like real high-end comic books. That's why all these weird variants and stuff started coming out and why we're still plagued with them today. Are comics still collectible? Yes. Absolutely.
100%.
But
Old comics, yeah.
But are the new ones that come out, are they still worth a lot? Not really.
No.
A lot of this happened because of Death of Superman and Batman getting his back broken. Like these are two iconic characters that were changing dramatically. So comics as a whole, they knew that they were going to get people coming in and buying these things. So they had like your first printings, your second printings, your third printings, your fourth printings of the same book. And you may have the fourth printing in pristine condition, but it's worth $1.25.
Yeah.
But that first printing, man, that one's worth $100.
Well,
You know?
it was kind of crazy because I actually found a rare gem the one day at Half Price Books in store, and this was kind of a cool story because I went in there because I was just trying to buy some comics. I was trying to get into comic books, something to read, just something to read when you're shitting, the usual. But it was really cool because I was scrolling through like their more expensive was like $10 comics, um, and I stumbled across one that was about $40. It had a $40 price tag on it. It was signed, and I was like, "This is weird." First art is the first edition, first printing slash first comic, and then on the backside was another signed one, but in Japanese, by the illustrator and everything, and it was the second one. It was a special edition. This was a $40 thing, and I'm sitting there, and I have no money in my bank account. Like this may be my last $40. Like I may not get home because I don't have gas money. I bought it. I bought it. I go home and look this thing up. This thing is worth just for the not even signed versions is $120 for this bundle. With it, it adds an extra like $100 on it. And I'm like, if this illustrator dies, I wish him the best. But if you die, like you may have just made me like a $40 investment.
Well, the cool thing about that, and all right, I love half price books.
Yeah.
I don't really like the big brick and mortar type things because you know me, but they have cool stuff in there. And and the reason that I like it a lot of times is that it's kind of like going to a yard sale or garage sale where they sort out all the crap.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Like it's all organized, you know where it's at. It's great. And they get new stuff all the time. Well, before the COVID thing.
Yeah.
But I mean they sell a lot. Like I don't buy a lot of physical books anymore, but I still like to go and I like to look at books.
Yeah.
They have game books, like so if you're into D&D, sometimes you can find like really cool module books and map books and stuff like that.
You can find
video
such good stuff.
They have video games, they have DVDs, they have movies, they have Blu-rays, they have CDs.
If you want to start a collection, like a comic book collection, go there. You can get the price for one comic, you can almost get 3 to 4 comics for it. So if you're just looking to start off a collection, maybe like you have a little one that's like, man, I want to start reading comics, and you're like, well, I don't want to drop $30 every comic book at the Barnes & Noble. Okay, let me go pick you up a $5 one.
I will say that when you're buying stuff from half price books, check your prices. The reason being is sometimes, usually when they put it in the system, they check whatever the value is at the time and they kind of base their values off of that.
Yep.
Sometimes the prices go up and the system catches it and updates them, and sometimes they go down and the system catches them and updates them, and sometimes it doesn't. So something that may have was worth $100 may have went down and it may only be worth $25, maybe $30 now.
Yeah, but they're still rocking the $100.
They're not gonna negotiate with you on the price, but you're not gonna be buying something that's worth less than what it's worth.
Yeah.
At the same time, because they're not gonna negotiate with you if it's worth more, they're not gonna make you pay more for it unless it's in the system as more. But I do like half price books quite a bit. Like the one that they get the weirdest stuff in there too, right? So you remember HeroClix?
Yeah.
I went in the one time and they had these big, like under the bed tote style totes full of HeroClix that other people had brought in, and they were selling them for like 25 cents to 50 cents a piece. It was 50 cents for the bigger ones and 20. And I looked and I go, I don't know. There could be like a whole bunch of really cool rare ones in there. I don't really play HeroClix anymore. I liked the game. I thought it was cool, but I just don't have room for all that stuff. But I thought that was like a weird thing for them to have in there. Somebody must have just come in and brought their collection and said, "Here you go."
And they were like,
and I think they ended up selling a bunch of them. They have these carts. I totally screwed up the one girl's organization system in there the one day. So she was inputting stuff in the system. So she had all the video games on the shelf. The stuff that was new that she hadn't put in the system yet, she had turned on its side, like to where you couldn't see the spine. She was organizing it, but they weren't in the system yet. Well, that bugs me. So I went there. I didn't realize that's what she was doing. So I straightened them all. And then I saw that she went back to that section. I was like, I totally just messed her up. I know I just messed her up. But it's a cool store. I like it.
Yeah.
So back to the whole Cyberpunk thing and the game of the year. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, Cyberpunk's going to be the best game of the year. It's not even out yet.
No.
We can't really judge it based on anything other than it looks really good. It looks pretty.
They're pretty.
So Marvel's Avengers, are you in or out on the Marvel's Avengers?
I think I'm gonna be in. I mean, it's Marvel. Why wouldn't I be?
I'm really looking forward to the multiplayer aspect. Is anybody else out there looking into getting the Marvel's Avengers game?
Yeah.
Besides me, I was originally going to get it on PS4, but you know what? I'm leaning towards the I think I'm just going to stick with that. Instead of getting it on PC.
Yeah.
I don't think the crossplay is going to actually be a thing. It may, but I doubt it. but both Cyberpunk and Marvel's Avengers have both said that if you buy the PS4 version,
You get the upgrade.
you're going to get the upgrade to the PS5 version for free. They said that the PS4 version is going to be compatible with the PS5 version. So if your buddy has a PS4 and can't get a PS5 and you have the PS5, you're going to both be able to play together.
Which is smart. I think that's awesome.
I think it's great. I think that's important.
Yeah.
It does seem like they're trying to make the transition between the generations this time
Smoother. It's not just like, well, buy your system or you can't have friends.
There's, I mean,
That's kind of how Xbox, like
yeah.
Xbox to Xbox
Yeah.
360 was like, man, I love playing Halo with my buddies, but they can't afford an Xbox or they're waiting until Christmas or something like that. And like, okay, fuck your buddies then. Like that's
I guess get friends that have more money.
yeah, like get the rich kid down the street, like go play with Steve or something. I don't know. Like that's what it kind of felt like at times. But I mean, I think they're going in a smooth transition, and I mean, I think we'll see the day maybe in my lifetime and maybe even in yours to where it's just a system.
I think consoles are done. I do. I think that this is the last generation of them.
I just think you can. I don't think so. I think you're always going to have it because I just can't see the whole world going to a PC. A PC master race.
I think what you're going to start seeing become more common is pre-builts. You're going to see. I do.
I think
as the technology has improved, now a lot of times
maybe
you can get decent video cards and stuff for hardly nothing.
I think this is where it will go. I think you will always have consoles because they're quick, easy, fast sellers.
They are.
You don't have to be smart about it. You just buy the system, whatever. And I get with the whole pre-built things, yes. But what I think
it has to be uniform though, which is why consoles work. I
think what you'll see is consoles won't really matter. You'll still have like, oh, Xbox has better SSDs in it than the PS4 or whatever. I think what you'll see is everything will be cross-platform. Nothing will matter anymore what system you have. It will just be a personal preference.
I really think that, and I know that you don't agree with me, I think things are going more the way of Stadia. Not that Stadia is the way, but that streaming is going to be the way. I think that you're not going to really even need to have all this hardware and stuff. I think that you're going to have good internet.
We're moving to minimalistic.
Because, guys, guess what? Love it, hate it, laugh at it, whatever. Stadia works. And it works really, really well. And I can't even imagine, okay, now if you take this new generation, give them an entire lifespan of a console, see how much further they could get with it then. Because they've already got it, and it's pretty good now.
Mm-hmm.
How much for another 5-6 years of product development, getting it to work, new infrastructure, things like that. And cross-platform is going to be the way.
You're like I said, you're going to see cross-platform.
If Microsoft comes out with their thing, they're like, all right, we've got our new streaming box, and it's, I mean, what would a streaming box cost? It hasn't got a graphics card or anything. If you're streaming everything from the internet, what do you need? You don't need hardly anything. It's a Roku player at that point.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting thing, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's going to come to a minimalistic approach to where you don't need all the wires, you don't need all this. You just need a little small box. Like, I mean, I'm talking size of Apple TV box. I mean, real small. That's what you play your games on, and it's powerful enough to do it.
It really wouldn't surprise me if they start integrating this stuff into appliances like TVs. So if you want to play all the Sony exclusive stuff, gotta have a Sony TV.
That would be bullshit. I'd be upset.
I'm just saying.
I'd be upset.
I just don't think that we're that far away from it, man.
I'd just be upset because then it just because what if you make crappy TVs?
Sony doesn't make crappy TVs.
Though. I know, but I'm saying if Microsoft came out and was like, we're gonna start making TVs now, would you buy a Microsoft TV?
No.
Like I said,
does it have to run Windows? Because if it does,
it has to have Windows.
I'm gonna pass.
It's gonna have Windows.
I can't diss it. I think Windows 10 is actually.
It's gonna have Windows Vista on it.
Windows Vista Millennium Edition. You got to go back to the ME edition.
Boomer edition. That's what it is. Yeah. Like Windows 90. Is it 98?
98 was good. ME was terrible.
But you have to stream everything through Microsoft.
What do you guys think? Where do you guys think the future of video games are? Is consoles going to be the thing, or is it streaming? I personally think it's going to be some kind of like weird hybrid of the two, because there's a lot of people that prefer the owning their content, physically touching it, physically having it on a shelf. And those guys are the ones that push the hardest for PlayStation and them to not go all digital.
I'm worried. That's what I'm worried about, I think, the most, is seeing games go full digital. and that's what I worry and
There's
stress.
benefits to it though. There's a ton of benefits.
It is.
One, your game is always up to date all the time. If they have to issue a patch or a fix or something
Yeah.
in the game is broken, they can fix it
But
immediately.
it ruins the collectors.
It does, but if your disc doesn't work when you put it in and the updates are gone anyway, what difference does it matter if you have the
I
disc?
know, but it's like a collector's portion of it. Like that's what I worry about, and I couldn't agree more that I think the world will go full digital. Like, but I mean, think about people like
They've embraced it though. I mean, music,
music, but
movies,
think about like Best Buy.
books.
Best Buy. Could you imagine going into a Best Buy and you don't see any games?
Well,
on
the thing
shelves?
is,
you just see like little gift cards.
you don't even hardly see movies in there anymore. Their
No.
movie section went from being like half of one big section to it's got like 4 racks of movies now.
Yeah.
And CDs gone. They don't have any of those anymore.
No.
They've actually gotten pretty smart. They sell more appliances and stuff. There was a guy that like much like what you said. They hired this business analysis guy to come in and say we need to kind of restructure the store. So software still has been a big seller for them, but that's also they won't come out and say this. That's why they got rid of the Gamers Club because they were relying on
Yeah.
selling you games. Now they still give you like the $10 per dollar reward certificates for pre-ordering and stuff. So it's
How do you spell O?
oh
Or is that a zero?
is that a oh
I
or
can't
a
tell if
zero?
it's a zero or no. I'm sorry, but Stoic for life. Welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you.
So I don't know. Personally, I think it's going to be a weird hybrid mix of the two. As long as there is a means to buy it in a physical sense, I think that you're going to have those people who want it. That's why there's still people that buy Blu-rays and books, and they're buying vinyl.
That's
and
what
CDs.
That's what I worry about it is because of the fact that like I could not imagine walking into a Best Buy and not being able to pick up a game or something like that. Like I love supporting those businesses because like I buy like most of my keyboards and stuff. Like obviously if they have the keyboard I go in there and I buy it because I'm like fuck Amazon. I'm not waiting a day to get this. I'm gonna go get it now.
Yeah, okay. You're not telling me anything I don't understand. Over the last 2 years, I have hit like the Platinum Plus Elite member status on Best Buy because I've given them so much money.
Yeah.
And most of that money, honestly, it went to Switch software, Switch hardware,
Games.
probably, I think I got my Yeti microphone. So basically, most of my peripherals for my computer up until I actually got my good computer. Some movies here and there. But I'd say, honestly, it was Amiibos and collector stuff.
Do a good job.
They do. I'm having a really hard time hitting the Elite Plus. One, COVID.
Yeah.
That's really hurt. That means that I've spent over $3,000 in their store for the last 2 years.
But everything, like I said, PS
That's not bragging. That's sad.
PS4, you buy PS4 if you game share with somebody, you have to buy digital. You have to.
Yes.
Now PC is different.
I want to see
PC's
them.
all digital.
I want to see them improve that though.
And F games.
And F GameStop, you're not wrong. GameStop serves a niche though. And I think that people kind of forget that if GameStop goes away, you're not going to have that niche anymore. You're going to see more of these like little mom and pop stores that do kind of the same thing. But is it necessarily better?
Yeah. I like I said, I worry for any business that's
Because I'm the biggest like anti GameStop person ever, but it's mostly from their website standpoint.
But if you can't switch, if you can't like as a mom and pop store that does games and stuff like that, if you can't switch to the digital outlet, you're going to be hosed in 15 years. I completely agree.
I think it depends on
what you sell.
on what you sell.
But if you're just like, man, I only have games, I have a few collectibles, that's it, you will struggle because if you can't match the digital, I mean, don't get me wrong, PC's already all digital. There's nothing. I don't know.
You can still buy a
You can buy-
DVD-ROM or whatever, but it's hard to find them.
When's the last time you saw a PC game that you go buy at the store?
I see them at Target,
But
it's like older games like Diablo 3, the original Diablo 3.
but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't go buy the big boxes anymore. You know that have the little like.
No, even like the collector's editions now. Like you get the collector's edition, it comes with a digital code.
It's the digital code.
It'll have like a statue, this book, and some other stuff, and then a digital code. Doesn't even have like
that's
a game.
It doesn't even have a CD in it. Like, it's kind of cool because like we were cleaning out the garage the other day and like going through these games and like the information books. Nobody knows what an information book is.
Those are sweet.
Like I said, it's awesome. Like it has secret cheats in the game or like secret tips and stuff like that.
When's the last time you saw a PC or a laptop with an optical drive? Every time I go over to your house, see your dad's computer, he's got one.
He only does that because for when he stored all of his movies onto that drive. That way he could
Yeah.
flex. So
But he doesn't really need it.
no,
He uses it sporadically.
he uses it only for that. If it wasn't for that, he would. And
I don't have one in mind.
when you go buy cases at Micro Center or something like that, they don't even have the drive slots in them anymore.
No.
So you have to buy an external. And I mean, that's my thing.
There's some people that still have the need for that. To write the information on a disc or something.
Correct, but at the same time,
But not really.
you're
Almost
going-
everything is cloud based now.
you're going external with it. Yeah, I mean, if you are, but
They're putting
that's
them on flash drives.
it's
and-
weird. Like I said, it's weird because don't get me wrong, PC did the first jump on doing everything digital with Steam. Now like you can buy almost any game. On
I love Steam.
Steam's awesome.
Love Steam.
Steam's awesome.
You know what I love about Steam? I bought a game on there the other day that was like at least 10, 15 years old. Fired right up on my computer and it worked great.
Yeah.
No issues.
They do
No
a great job.
problems.
And what I love about Steam is they're all about promoting new games. If you want to, you can put your game on Steam.
I think that I think Epic is gonna get more momentum.
Yep.
They've got a couple exclusive things. They've had the rights to some games exclusively, and honestly, competition is good.
Oh yeah.
But
But
it just is.
but right now it's tough to match Steam, but at the same time
yes, they're huge.
but Steam's not really I would say Steam's not like going out of their way to try to compete with people. And I don't think
They own one game on Epic Store that I bought,
I know.
that I physically bought.
Yeah.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
And that was because you couldn't get it on Steam. You can now, but it was like a timed exclusive. Now I have a bunch of other games on the Epic Store that I didn't pay for because they do those free games every month.
Yeah.
Or every week, sorry. But would I buy games from Epic? Yeah. I mean, you're talking if it's an issue of clicking on an app and seeing all your stuff, I'm fine with that. But when you have your stuff on this platform, this platform, and this platform, and this platform, it gets really confusing.
it gets overwhelming. And the big thing that you're gonna see is and it happens over the years is space. Is actual hard drive space for your stuff. Like I see myself 500 gigs, 1,000 gigs. It's not enough.
It's not enough space.
Some games are now 100 gigs, 100 gigs plus, and when they put out new updates, it just stacks onto the game. Like you have to find yourself deleting it and then reinstalling the game. That way you can get it back down to that 100 mark. It's crazy, but I can't imagine. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't imagine how much memory you're gonna need in the future.
Speaking of other stuff on Epic, I have played Dauntless a few times. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. It's like a simpler Monster Hunter. Plus the fact that you can play it on everything. You can play it on your Switch, your PS4. It's all cross platform, which that's cool too.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, digital's kind of
The wave.
now. There's a reason that I kind of love the Switch stuff. One, it's the only thing I bought physical pretty much this whole console generation, even though I consider it technically next gen, because it came out so far late in the cycles. One, I like the cases. I think the cases are cool looking. Two, I like the little cartridges. I think they're neat looking. But also, historically speaking, almost not all, most Nintendo products hold their resale value.
For sure.
Plus, the Switch does not have any really good options for storage right now.
Yeah.
Now, I know some people who have a whole bunch of SD cards that keep a lot of their digital games on the SD card. Because, if you're playing your system a lot in handheld mode, I could see that being a benefit.
Mhm.
Having basically your entire game library with you wherever you go, as long as you hit the internet once every 7 days or whatever. But I also don't think that it's that big of a deal because you can carry a lot of those little cartridges. I have a couple of carrying cases. I can carry like 300 games with me. I don't even have 300, but I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
So I like them. I think they're cool. They're not like full size. The cases take up a pretty good amount of space.
But whatever.
But
It's the cool factor of
They
it.
look cool on a shelf.
I mean, all red, like it looks cool on a shelf. Like a black shelf with the Nintendo Switch games looks dope.
My thing is like I buy pretty much all the first party games.
Yeah.
Like hands down. It's Mario, it's Zelda, it's Kirby, Pokemon, whatever. I'm buying it. I don't even care. But I've been buying like some other stuff. Like I have a couple that are still in the shrink wrap that I don't need. I just bought them because I collect them. Like Friday the 13th. I have the Camp Crystal Lake edition of Friday the 13th. It's still in the box. I've never opened it. I'm probably never going to open it, but I think it's cool. I probably won't because it's an online game, and eventually I know that those online servers are probably going to go down at some point. You won't be able to play the game. But it's just cool because Jason's on the cover, and we bought the PS4 version. We had a lot of fun with
We were
that.
so bad about that game when the online came out.
Oh
Plus we
man,
couldn't play.
we could not get on. We should play that again sometime.
It's I'm down. I mean,
We should definitely do that. Because I have it, you have it. I think Jason has it. They gave it away 1 month for free, so
yeah,
we should definitely all get on there and play this
I'm
sometime.
down.
But I got that one. I've got Bloodstained Symphony of the Night. I got the limited run of that. I actually have a couple limited run games. I'm getting Jay and Silent Bob's Mall Bash limited run edition. I haven't bought it yet, but I really want it
Yeah.
because it's like one of the, it kind of reminds me of like River City Ransom, but it's with Jay and Silent Bob in the mall. I've heard the game is like meh, but I'm a Jay and Silent Bob fan. I'm a Kevin Smith fan, so. But I still think you're going to see this weird kind of like hybrid because like they've revealed basically the all digital version of the PS5.
Mhm.
Then they have the one with the disc drive.
Yeah.
But they've also said before that the PS5 is going to be able to run either you can do full install like you do now. You'll be able to do like a half and half where it like installs pretty much like the really important stuff, but then it still runs a little bit off of the disc, or you can run it completely off of the disc, which is something that we couldn't even do this generation because they're aware of it. But they're also aware of the fact that, like you said, storage. How the hell do you store all these games?
Yeah.
The rumor is that the PS5 is going to be only launching with about 800 gigs of storage,
Yeah.
which is not a lot.
No, you'll be
Not today.
you'll be finding yourself, and I actually found this out. The reason being why games are getting so much, it's actually a marketing scheme. They're doing it on purpose.
Making the game bigger on purpose.
On purpose. The reason being is, think about it this way: if it's the new hot game out, okay, 100 gigs. Say that's your last 100 gigs. You got to go and delete different games. So because you're gonna think in your head, I'm not playing that game anymore. I'm gonna delete it. You delete it, you're not going to want to go re-download it. So you're going to be like, maybe I'll just play that game. So it keeps you on that game. They do it on purpose. It's a marketing scheme.
I guess.
I mean,
so.
Don't get me wrong.
I
Like,
can see that.
It's for that reason. But
And then you have Switch games that launch and they're on an 8 gig cartridge or
yeah, and then
they're like 800 megabit cartridge.
and then like a 24 gig up.
And then you're like, oh, cool. Now I have to download the rest of the 4 gigs of this game
Yeah.
when I get home. Yay. Or what's going on with this? All right. Last rant, and then we're going to probably wrap this up. Speaking of Switch, Outer Worlds. Pretty popular on PC, pretty popular on PS4. It's a really cool game. I've watched a lot of gameplay of it. My friend Becca plays it. She's like, you need to get this game on Switch because she knows I'm a Switch player. And I was like, okay. So I went and looked at it. It's the box. So you go to Best Buy and you get the box. I'm like, cool. I wonder how much the download is. There's no cartridge. They're selling you a box with a slip of paper and with a download code. There's not even a cartridge in the box. $60. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like a fourth of the game. It's not even.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
even
get that.
like 1/8 of the game.
I
It's not even the loading screen. There's
I-
no cartridge in it.
I don't get that because of the fact that like if you ever wanted to resell that, you can't. You
No, it's worthless to you. Yeah, I have a cool box on my shelf.
Yeah, here you go. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're the best.
I have a box that has nothing in it.
It's a box.
I only have
What's in the box?
I only have a couple of games that I bought that basically had about half the game on the cartridge, and the other half you had to download. The one is Wolfenstein. That's a massive game. I'm a little bit mad because I feel like they should have just splurged and went with the bigger cards, but they didn't.
That's a rant for another day.
But that's a rant for another day. And I think the other one I got is Bayonetta. But Bayonetta is the first one's actually the full game on the cartridge, or the second one is the full game on the cartridge. You have a digital download of the first one. That doesn't bother me nearly as much because there's something there. I mean, like you're getting something for it, but I don't know. I'm not going to spend $60 to get a box and a
No.
digital code.
No.
If it's something that I've got to go home and pay for anyway, I just go to the damn eShop and download it.
Yeah, I never have to leave my underwear. Like it's all good. Like I sit in my
Like
game.
if that's what I was gonna do anyway. I'm not opposed to digital games. Almost my entire PS4 collection is digital.
Yeah.
And that's because we were doing game sharing, but they really need to improve that. I think they need to improve and expand. Like for one, how many people you can share it with? Because honestly, it's not that uncommon for households to have now more than one game console.
2 or 3.
In your guys' house, you guys had 3 consoles at one point. It was you, your brother, and your dad. You guys all had one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they got to give you every game for free, but
I would pay extra.
that's what I'm saying. Why can't I? All right, why can't I buy Madden? And I want to buy the new Madden, and I want to play it with my brother and my dad.
I wouldn't be mad if they charge you for game share.
Charge me for it.
Subscription.
So if the
based.
game, if the game for the license to own the game for one copy of the game, $60.
Yeah.
if they want to charge me another $10 or $15 for another license, cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Or even the fact of just make it a subscription that comes on like, oh well, just like how Netflix has upgraded portions where you can pay an extra $5 and stream it to 4 different devices instead of 2 or something like that. Like do something along.
Simultaneous screens now or something
Yeah.
like that. The other thing I want to see them do is, okay, let's say I buy a really cool digital game. I'm like, dude, you got to try this game out. I finished it. If I bought a disc, I could physically take it over to your house and loan it to you and let you try it.
Yeah.
But since it's digital, I can't. Unless I give you my login or whatever and say,
Yeah.
here, log into my thing. And then I can't play games while you're on it.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to have the ability to say, here, dude,
Bar.
this is now locked in your library until you give it back. That way, if they're worried about us playing it at the same time or whatever, I get it. But they need to improve it. One, people don't feel like they own it because technically you don't, and two, you can't do enough with it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't even disagree with that at all. So
Do I think that they should just like open it up and let you share with everybody that you want to? And no, that they're not going to make any money that way.
no, but at the same time, you would be shocked how many people actually don't know about screen sharing or game sharing.
I know that there's several people that live in the same house that have multiple consoles and they don't.
No, they buy three
They don't-
four
they don't
copies
game
of
share.
the They buy 3 or 4 copies of the game and
And,
like
and that's silly.
Yeah.
But I get it.
yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's silly, but at the same time, like I wouldn't be PS4 either and saying, "Hey guys, you can game share." I would just say it once and then.
I don't think that they meant it to be used the way that it's being used. And if they really wanted to be stricklers about it, they could have. They
Mhm.
could have checked IP addresses and say, "Oh, well, you guys ain't at the same address, and we're shutting you off." They could have done that.
But there's no point.
They didn't, and I think it was because digital games a lot of times don't go on sale as often as physical games. But when they do, the sales are pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to go, for example, and go buy a game on PS4 that came out last year, I can't. You wanted to go buy a physical copy of Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
Let's say that you just want to go and buy it. What do you think that costs at GameStop or used games?
$40.
Now?
Dark Souls 3, 40, $30.
Now? No, it's probably like $10, $12.
Okay.
How much does it cost in the digital store?
60.
That's the benefit of the used game market.
I
Is
can-
that your physical games ain't worth nearly as much, even if it was $30. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Janet went out and ended up getting a copy of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
One of the Tomb Raider games, Shadow Definitive Edition, whatever, and it was on sale. I think the one place for like $20 or $25. It was still $60 on the game store, and she's like, "Mom,
I get
I'm
you.
going to Walmart or wherever it was at," and she just bought it.
I couldn't agree.
So anyway, we've talked a lot. That's about it.
Yeah,
I think
sounds
we're
good.
gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like I'm talking too much. Plus, it's 100 degrees here. I just had my first drink of alcohol in like 3 years. I got a 1 drink buzz.
Well, don't drive.
Aren't you cute?
Or don't drive. Don't get white girl wasted. Whatever you want to call it. But thank you guys so much. Episode 48, another one in the books.
48 in the books, y'all.
But we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in, having fun. Stay nerdy, stay fun, stay safe, stay classy, San Diego. I don't know what else you want to tell you, but thank you guys all so much for watching. And until next time, those two nerds are out. And screw the guys that took our name. I'm just kidding. They didn't take our name, but who knows? We're not bashing them. But if they watch this, maybe we might get referenced and take their viewers.
They have a lot more than we do.
I know. I'll take them.
And thanks everybody for that came out. I think this is the first one we've had where we weren't in double digits for a while.
Yeah.
People must be busy.
Go give them a dislike if you find them.
Yeah. Oh, like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff if you haven't already.